Okay, so we just saw Charles and Camilla, Bert and Gert get off their plane, tour around the capital region in Ottawa, and then get back on the plane in 2 days, and they're already on their way back to the UK. So I actually watched the visit. I thought, you know, without all the backstory between them and the rest of their royal family, I thought it was a good visit. Nice little holiday for them in Canada for 2 days. And remember, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, asked them to come. So they came. They had a whirlwind of events that they did right off of walking off of the plane. They did their stuff. They did the throne speech. And then they got on the plane and left. No wasted time at all. And there were a few people that came out. And I have to say, there's two things that this does. One's good and one's bad. It satisfies the monarchists in Canada. So my family's from Europe. My family's from the UK. And so I grew up as a monarchist as a child and around a whole bunch of people who still celebrate Dominion Day, right? So yeah, those people are all happy. They're all wearing their little outfits and they're waving their Union Jacks. They're really happy. And then there's another group of people in Canada who are supported not only by separatists, but supported by French people and people who followed them from England. And those are the Not My King people. I think they're like popping up everywhere. They wear yellow. They have shirts that say hashtag Not My King. They're the ones that want to get rid of Charles and Camilla. They're everywhere. You could hear them screaming in the crowd yesterday, which I was so surprised at because you only see them in England, but you don't actually see them on the TV in England. The government over there censors that. So we can see it in Canada, but like my family lives over there, they never get to see them on TV. So very, very interesting that those people were already out there when Charles and Camilla were in Canada. So he gave the throne speech. He's sitting in the throne. I think he's in like the Senate chamber or somewhere like that. And he reinforced that Canada is like a sovereign nation, which is great because I think that Donald Trump likes him and everything. But, you know, there's a big group of people in Canada, mostly younger people, who don't remember a time before 1981. You know, those people, they want to be like Barbados. They want to separate. Oh. So, and I don't think people have forgotten the whole thing with Charles and Camilla and Princess Diana. I don't think anybody's going to forget that for the rest of their lives. And I think that has to do with the reason why people, like, he's the head of state of Canada. That's why he's giving that speech. Usually the Governor General sits in that seat on behalf of him. So, he's on the money in Canada. And if it was like the Queen of England, if it was like Queen Elizabeth II, if she was the one who was still alive and doing this, I'm sure that people would like run out in the streets. They'd be so happy because she was a role model. But because their image has been tarnished over the years, and with that new show, The Crown, it's been tarnished again, that no matter what they do to dress each other up and make themselves look great, there's always going to be a group of people that think that they took advantage of Princess Diana. Because remember, these people are like 77, 76 years old. That means that they were in their 30s when he got married to Princess Diana. She was 19 or 20 years old when he was 32 and Camilla was 33. Like, can you imagine that now? And now think about that back in like 1981, I think that's when they got married. A 19-year-old kid getting married to a 32-year-old man or with like a 33-year-old mistress. I'm sorry that sounds bad and that it's kind of tarnishing it, but that's what people are thinking. Every time they come in public and do something like that, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Then after a day will pass and then people will be like, oh yeah. And I know people in Canada are petty. They are petty. They're going to literally tomorrow be talking about the fact that the plane that came to pick them up from Canada and bring them from the UK to Canada and back was the government of Canada plane that we have to pay for. So they're going to be like, how much did it cost to fly them all the way here for 2 days? How much did it cost to house them, to feed them, to do the security, to close the roads, to deal with the motorcade people, to pay them, to pay people who are in the army? How much did it cost for all of that? Those kids had to come out of school for one day for the farmers market thing, the demonstration. What happened with the musicians and people are going to be counting the pennies, especially at a time right now in Canada where it's all austerity and people are like, oh my God, we got to save all of our money. They're going to be like, you invited this man to the country, this billionaire to the country, and we're paying for that. So I appreciate that King Charles came, but I give you 1, maybe 2 days before Canadian people are going to be like, how much did it cost? Did it achieve what they wanted it to achieve? What do you think?